Good afternoon, First Alert Meteorologist Diane Phillips joining you. We are currently going to be covering the press conference that the Grand Blanc Township Police Department is going to be putting together. As we take a look here, you are going to see that they are setting up for that. So we will be covering that here at WNEM.com. We'll also be on Facebook. We are on our WNEM YouTube pages as well, so you can connect with our stream here in multiple locations. You can see here that they do have officials that are walking in, so as they get set up, we are again going to be covering the press conference here. We'll be gathering new information so far as of the latest. 4 are dead, 8 are injured, and the shooter has also been deceased. The shooter the suspect was identified as Jacob Thomas Sanford, 40 years of age, from the Burton area. As this attack happened at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints Sunday morning at around 10:30 in the morning. So as we continue to keep an eye out here, just some of the resources that are available to people. The Family Assistance Center is open to everyone today and tomorrow. So that's going to be at the Genesis Conference and Banquet Center. And that has been open since 8 a.m. and that's going to be open until 8 p.m. So that 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. time frame is still going to be valid for Tuesday as well. And then those services are going to be moving to the Grand Blanc Senior Center. That is going to be, again, from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at the Grand Blanc Senior Center. As we continue to listen in and take a look, we are still, again, waiting for officials to update us here on the latest that we can expect. As you can see that there are still people who are going to be funneling in. So also I do want to share with folks, because they may have another update, but I know that there are potentially still some families that do need to be reconnected with families. So that reunification number is still 248-705-7352. So that is for direct family members only. They ask for them to call that number only. So that is not necessarily a public health helpline. That is going to be for there. But it looks like the conference is going to start. We'll turn it over to the press conference.
Thank you for joining us for this afternoon's news conference. Joining us today is Governor Gretchen Whitmer, Colonel James F. Grady II, Director of the Michigan State Police, James Deere, ATF Special Agent in Charge for Michigan, FBI Acting Special Agent in Charge Reuben Coleman, Sheriff Chris Swanson, Genesee County Sheriff, and Chief William Rennie, Grand Blanc Township Police Department.
Thank you. I'm here as governor to bring the full support of the entire state of Michigan to this community. I want to thank all of our local law enforcement, state police, federal agents for their swift response. I want to thank local fire and EMS and medical providers for saving lives and caring for those who are still fighting for their lives in the hospital. And thank the incredible Department of Natural Resources Conservation Officer and the local Grand Blanc officer for their brave actions to take down the shooter and their quick response. I think we can see the best of public service in all of these individuals. As I said, I'm here as the governor, but I'm also here as a fellow Michigander whose heart is breaking by another mass shooting in a place that is supposed to be defined by togetherness and a close-knit community here in Grand Blanc. As a state, we know the pain of this too well. We've seen gun violence in our schools, stores, parades, festivals, and our houses of worship. These are places that we go to feel connected, to feel safe, to be together. But today, this place has been shattered by bullets and broken glass. And this might be a familiar pain, but it hurts all the same. Every time. We cannot keep living our lives like this. I know that this community is reeling right now, and I want you to know that the state of Michigan has your back. Your grief is our grief. I ordered flags lowered statewide, and I spoke with President Trump yesterday, who wanted to share his condolences. We will be here every step of the way and coordinate a full response with our local and federal partners. Folks here at the township at every level have been working closely together. There's one thing I know about Michiganders, is that we get through hard things together, and that's who we are. That's how the good people here at the Grand Blanc Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints live their lives. They worship together, they sing together, and they serve together. And that's why I was so proud to see powerful statements from interfaith leaders across Michigan denouncing this attack on a house of worship. They grieved for this congregation as though it was their own. They spoke with one voice for the basic principle that we all believe in, that you should be able to pray in peace in our state, no matter who you are. I know that in the hours and days ahead, we will see the best of Michigan. We will see neighbors being neighborly, checking in with a call, bringing over some food, or offering a hug. We'll see medical providers work hard to save lives and treat those in need, with scars both seen and unseen. We will see this congregation unite and rally together like never before and continue worshiping together, singing together, and serving together, because that's who Michiganders are. We will stay in close contact and continue to work together. Now, like everyone I know, we have lots of questions. How could this happen? What created this moment? Why? And that's motivated by a genuine motivation to understand, to learn, to prevent in the future. But I want to caution everyone. While we are working hard, while the good men and women who are working hard are doing so with due diligence at this juncture, speculation is unhelpful and it can be downright dangerous. So just ask that people lower the temperature of rhetoric. Keep your loved ones close and keep this community close to your hearts. Let's keep doing the work together. Let's be kind and let's love our neighbors. Thank you, and now I'd like to introduce the head of the Michigan State Police, Colonel James Grady.
Thank you, Governor, and good afternoon. This community has been greatly impacted by yesterday's events. We are offering our deepest condolences to those affected by this tragedy. This horrific event is something that this community has never experienced. It is important at this time that we come together to support one another in this time of grief. We stand ready and willing to assist both our local and federal partners with any additional needs as this investigation continues. The Michigan State Police immediately responded alongside our public safety partners to secure the scene, provide support to our neighbors, with our emergency support team serving search warrants, the bomb squad and K-9 team sweeping numerous locations for evidence and explosives. Additionally, our forensic science laboratories and our special investigation section continue to investigate the officer-involved shooting and work alongside our federal and local partners. I'd like to take a moment for everybody to remember that last year, we put together an initiative called Stop the Plot. While we are committed to keeping our community safe, we also need your help. Again, it takes everybody. 53% of mass attacks leave a trail of clues leading up to them. And 2/3 of mass attackers elicited behavior that caused concerns. So we are asking our communities to stay vigilant, and if you see something suspicious, please contact local law enforcement or 911 immediately. We will keep the family in our prayers here at MSP as they continue to cover and we work together. Thank you for your time. Next up, we will have from the thank you. We will have ATS Special Agent in Charge for Michigan, James Deere.
Good afternoon. My name is Jim Deere with ATF. I'm the Special Agent in Charge for ATF Michigan. On behalf of the men and women of ATF, I offer my deepest sympathy and condolences to this community and to the families affected by this tragedy. this horrific act of violence. There is no place in our society for this. There's absolutely no place. But it's become all too common, and as we know, we have become more and more desensitized. This community is hurting, and we are here to help them heal. As part of that healing process, ATF has brought in their national response team. This is a cadre of world-renowned investigators for arson and explosive incidents. They have been used all over the world, and they come from places as far as California, Hawaii, and they're here in Michigan now. They arrived last night, they've briefed, they're examining the scene, and that is what they're doing at this point. From ATF's perspective, I would encourage the community not to travel by the church. Those roads have been blocked off and access is controlled. While that might be a little disheveling for folks, we need that scene security for our investigators as they dig out this scene. So with that in mind, that's our ask for the community. We are also looking at the improvised explosive devices that were recovered during this investigation and looking towards that end as well. I need to introduce the acting special agent in charge for the FBI of Detroit, Michigan, Reuben Coleman.
My name is Reuben Coleman. I'm acting special agent in charge of FBI Detroit Field Office, which represents the entire state. At this time, we wanted to provide an update on our investigative efforts regarding yesterday's tragic shooting at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc, Michigan. First, I want to express my gratitude for all the cross-agency collaboration between our federal, state, and local partners. Their support has been outstanding and critical to this investigation. We are in lockstep with our partners as we continue to work through this. As I mentioned yesterday, the FBI is investigating this as an act of targeted violence, and we are continuing to work to determine a motive. In the past 24 hours, our investigative squads and specialty teams have been out all night, exhausting leads, some of which have been coming in from the public via tips. Our special agents, victim specialists, child advocate forensic interviewers, and local partners have interviewed over 100 victims and witnesses to date and are continuing to interview individuals as we speak. Our Evidence Response Team, or ERT, which is a specialized team of special agents, intelligence analysts, and professional staff, are trained to process crime scenes and collect evidence. They were out all night and continue processing the scene as we speak. Our field office has stood up national equities for support. We are engaging with our Behavioral Analyst Unit, or BAU, and have received support from our Quantico Labs division to analyze evidence collected to date. We received assistance from our FBI field offices across the country to support this case and follow down leads. While our focus is on this investigation, we want to continue to keep the victims and their families in our thoughts as they navigate through this incredibly difficult time. Please continue to reach out to the FBI via 1-800-CALL-FBI or submit tips at tips.fbi.gov. Thank you. Chief?
You prepare in peace to perform in chaos. I saw it live. I saw what you trained for, what you planned for, and then reality hit yesterday morning on a bright sunny day when people went to worship. But what I also saw is every level of government law enforcement work together for the good of the people. What I witnessed was people putting their lives at risk that had 2 months on the job as an EMT, or brand new firefighters, veteran firefighters, and law enforcement, just to bring a sense of stability to a scene that was chaotic and dynamic. As the sheriff of this county, I see the great people every day. But I want this community to know that those ranks in those agencies that were mentioned before me, we worked together. We worked in concert, and we did the job. And there's more to do. I will tell you, the sheriff's office dedicated every county sheriff medic that we had available, patrol, investigators, we did interviews, emergency management, whatever the task was needed, The sheriff's office worked with everybody that you heard and many that you don't know to bring justice and also order to this scene. But I will tell you the days are continuing. We have 31 marked cars on as we speak, making sure schools that are in session, in churches that are planning Bible studies, regardless of faith-based, that they will be protected. Anybody who calls in, we will be there like other law enforcement to settle the community and bring a sense of calmness to people. There is an uncertainty, but law enforcement, especially the sheriff's office, will bring that to you. I will tell you that there are noble heroes who do not wear a uniform that went to that church yesterday. You're going to hear their stories as we lay out this case with law enforcement, but I will tell you this, those heroes from that church did their job. And it was led because of a police department. So law enforcement from this township is led by a chief who demonstrated leadership right out of the gate. And my honor is to announce him as the final speaker, Chief Rennie of Grand Blanc Township.
Thank you, Sheriff. Evil. This was an evil act of violence. That's exactly what this was. And this is not Grand Blanc. This does not define Grand Blanc and who we are. We are a community, and I am confident that together we're going to build a stronger community due to this incident. Now, an update, this left 5 people dead, 8 people injured. As I said, this is an evil act and does not define Grand Blanc or who we are. At this time, what we know is everyone has been accounted for. We still are in the process of clearing out that church, but at this time, everyone is accounted for. We ask that you stay away from the scene. Let us work to clear this call so then we could get back to normal. That's what we all want. Grand Blanc Township police officers, the community of Grand Blanc Township, we're hurting. And we know that you are hurting as well with us. I want to remind you that we had the Family Assistance Center open. They will be open Monday and Tuesday at the Genesis Athletic Club from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. That address is 801 Health Park Boulevard, Grand Blanc, Michigan 48439. Seek service, let's come back together and be stronger together and better. I'll open it up at this time for any questions. Sir.
I have a question. When it comes to the act of violence, can you define why it is considered an act of violence and not something more serious like terrorism?
I will let Agent Coleman speak to that particular question.
Yes, as of right now, we are calling it an act of violence as this is an investigation that is continuing. We are continuing to receive leads. We're continuing to run down all information. And once we're able to ascertain definitively what we have, that's when we'll make those statements. But as of right now, this is an act of violence. Thank you.
Can I follow up on that, please? You called this an act of targeted violence. Can you tell us who you believe the target was? A specific person, the LDS Church, another group?
Well, as of right now, again, as this is an ongoing investigation, what I would say is when I say targeted violence, I mean targeted within our state and within our community. Right now, what we are here for are the families and the victims, and we're going to work diligently in order to make sure we can bring closure for them as well.
Can you speak about to the motive? There was some chatter that the suspect's ex-girlfriend was a Mormon or something of that nature, chatter online about that. Is that something that you can speak to or any possible motive?
That is something I cannot speak to at this point in time.
We heard that someone was arrested after driving through the barricade near the church. Can you share any information on that, why they were arrested, maybe what their intentions were?
Yes, Chief?
Yes, I could speak on that. Yes, there was an incident out there. We are still in the process of investigating that incident, whether or not it's related or not. I could tell you that we do have a 21-year-old person in custody for that incident right now.
Does the suspect have any prior criminal history or no contact with law enforcement?
Are you talking about the suspect from yesterday or today?
The suspect from yesterday.
The suspect from yesterday has been arrested by law enforcement in the past.
And the 5 dead, does that include the suspect or is that another?
The 5 dead includes the suspect.
Can you give any details on what those prior arrests were?
Burglary and OWI.
What agencies? Genesee County?
That I can't give you 100%.
What do we know?
Terry.
No, so I just want to clarify, no more victims. You searched the church and...
We have not completed search in the church, but as we know, everyone has been accounted for. That's going to be all the questions that we answered today. If you, this is our last press conference. If there's other pertinent information that develops, we will let you guys all know and post that on our social media account, Grand Blanc Township Police Department Facebook page. Thank you.
As you can see there, we still have more. We'll lead back over to the press conference.
Henry Ford Genesis will be available for questions after this news conference. He's here on the side of the room. Does anybody need any spelling of names? No?
Would it be possible to just bring him up right now?
Sure. Yep.
Yeah, thank you. Can we also confirm right now, are there 8 injured still at the time? So it's 5 that agree that you're 8. Correct.
Hi, everybody. I'm Lauren Zakalik. I'm the PR director at Henry Ford Health. I'm going to introduce now Dr. Michael Danick, normal spelling for Michael, D-A-N-I-C. He is our medical chief of staff at Henry Ford Genesis Hospital. He's going to make some opening remarks, talk about what happened yesterday. We'll take a few questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me. It was a very sad day for our community. Our law enforcement did amazing, as well as our medical staff throughout the entire Genesee County area. Henry Ford Genesis was prepared and did extremely well. And we also like to thank Hurley and McLaren for taking great care of all of the patients. An update on what we have had is we had a total of 8 patients at Henry Ford Genesis from the ages of 6 to 78. 5 were gunshot wounds and 3 were smoke inhalations. 2 of the smoke inhalations have been discharged. 1 is still intubated at this time. For the gunshot wounds, 1 had sustained gunshot wounds, multiple to the chest and abdomen, it's in critical condition. 1 had to the abdomen, as in critical condition still, but mostly stable. 1 of the victims did die in the emergency department. 1 child came in, was stabilized, and then transferred. And then there was another gentleman who had a gunshot on the leg. The trauma team was really well prepared for this. They activated the Mass Casualty Incident Command. Our trauma surgeon, Christopher Ash, was on the team, and John Vance, one of our other trauma surgeons, helped lead the charge. Dr. Sandy Ross was the ER attending at the time and did a phenomenal job of triaging. All of the community members came together. We hate having to prepare for these kind of events, but we are prepared, as well as the other hospitals in our community. We're very grateful to be helping to serve this community, and will continue to do for years to come. So, any questions?
Did you say what round struck the victims? You said some were shot in the chest and abdomen. Was this with a rifle, a 223 round handgun? Can you speak to that?
I don't have information on the caliber. How many were under the age of 18? I don't have that answer either.
What was the age range?
It was 6 to 78.
Of the people found in the church after it was evacuated, do you know anything about the suspected cause of death of those 2 people?
I do not, and I can't extrapolate either.
Can you tell us more about the child that you mentioned? Was that child shot, boy or girl, 6-year-old?
Had an injury to the arm, and out of an abundance of caution, was transferred to another hospital.
Was the injury a gunshot wound to the head?
I can't verify that.
Dr. Danick was one of the physicians that was treating patients yesterday. If anybody wants to ask him about his experience and just being there.
I will say it was very interesting taking care of our community members in this kind of a traumatic experience. We had a number of our residents who were members of the church and were on site. Not only were they victims, they were also first responders. And having your friends and family come in injured and taking care of them is a really incredible experience. They were heroes. Those on the scene were absolute heroes, going in and out of the fire to drag people out, helping each other take care of the victims on the scene. And the community really came together.
Okay, two more questions. I wanted to ask, have you ever seen anything even like to this extent in our community, and what was that like for you to respond to?
Never in our community. A lot of us who have trained in the trauma settings have dealt with gunshot wounds, so everyone who's on the staff there has dealt with these types of injuries in the past. It's just strange when it's your community hospital.
Doctor, I understand there were some nurses that were on strike, and
wanted to help, but then were turned away. Are you able to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, we're very happy that the instinct was to help. And we have a great loving community, and the instinct was there, but I cannot comment on the work stoppage.
All right, thank you.
Sorry, Doctor, just quickly, when you said residents, you meant residents of the community, right?
Resident physicians, those in
Resident
training.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
We are still going to be keeping an eye to the press conference and seeing if any other speakers do come in. But just some of the information that was delivered today, there are 4 dead from this incident, and then also the shooter in there. So when they mentioned that 5 have died from this, that did include 4 plus the shooter. There are still 8 that are injured. As we saw there, we did have that update from Henry Ford Health. They were talking about their experience of what they saw there in the trauma center, and also did give an update on the patients. Also, the ATF, they did provide an update. They did say that there were improvised explosive devices that were discovered. So, of course, they are keeping an eye not only to the church scene, but also the residence of the suspect. They did, the FBI did state that they have interviewed over 100 individuals and victims to put more information into play here to understand. They've been working all night and around the clock to gather information. Some of that has also included public tips and phone calls that have come in. The Grand Blanc Township Police Chief, Chief Rainey, said that this was an evil act of violence, and this does not define Grand Blanc. And he continued to update us on the number of injuries and also deaths that were reported. He did also say that everyone has been accounted for. Yesterday we were running that reunification phone number. So the good news is that, again, everyone has been accounted for. Of course, if you do still need to reach out to that number, you can do so. That's 248-705-7352. They do ask that the area be avoided around the church. They do still have the road closed in that area. They did have an incident, I believe that was today, of someone going through the barricade. They have been in custody. So that was developing here so far on this Monday. But of course, please avoid the area. That allows crews to continue to work to put more pieces together to understand what has happened. The search is still continuing on in the church. That has not been completed. That's according to Grand Blanc Township Police. That is mainly the information that was given here during this press conference. Again, some of the resources, we talked about that here at the beginning of our stream, but the Family Assistance Center, that's going to be open. That's going to be at the Genesis Conference and Banquet Center, so that is going to be open until 8 p.m. tonight. The address for that is going to be 801 Health Park Boulevard there in Grand Blanc. So that's going to be available today and tomorrow, and then still Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, that is going to be at the Grand Blanc Senior Center for folks who still need more of their services. They do have trained counselors there, and they also have services for victims. Also today, the Grand Blanc community schools and also Goodrich area schools, they were closed for school, not in session. We are still waiting to get updates from those districts to see what the plan is going forward here later this week. I know Goodrich schools had posted as far as what school practices look like, that they would be reaching out on Monday morning. So if that affects you, make sure that you are checking in with school districts to see what the status is on practice after school. If you do have any information that could be of any help, the FBI is taking the lead on this case, so you can call 1-800-CALL-FBI. That's the phone number, or you can do that online. You'll just go to tips.fbi.gov. So that you can submit that electronically. Both will work, whether you would like to do that online or over the phone. Again, they do ask that you please avoid the area. That will definitely help to speed up the investigation. They did not say when their next press conference was going to be. They did mention that they will be providing updates at their Grand Blanc Township Police Department Facebook page. So that's where, of course, here at TV5, we will be watching for some of those updates. Again, we have 4 that are dead, 8 that are injured, and then the shooter has also died. Everyone is accounted for in this incident. Please avoid the area around the church as they continue to clear out the church, as that has not been completed. We will continue to keep an eye on this as what they described as an act of violence. So, of course, you can stay connected with TV5. We'll have an update coming up on TV5 News at 4 p.m. We also have crews that are out there. They are continuing to also work with folks and see what is happening, what is developing there. We'll have full coverage starting at 4 p.m. That will last until 6:30 p.m. Of course, if we do get any word of a press conference before, we will be streaming that here on our website and also on the TV5 News app. Other ways that you can connect with us and get updates, we will be providing updates on our website. Here you can see this is WNEM.com. And also we are going to be having those push alerts that are going to be coming out through the day. So that's how you can connect with us if you would like that continuing coverage on this church tragedy. Again, the TV5 News app is going to be a great spot, WNEM.com, also the WNEM and Facebook pages. If you would like to replay any of this press conference, that will be available there for replay. And of course, if you have any tips that can help, 1-800-CALL-FBI or tips.fbi.gov to do that electronically. Thank you so much for joining TV5 here this afternoon. Again, we will have more coverage on our over-the-air channels starting at 4 o'clock today.